have to have things that are known, and a lot of things that we worry about is because we're attached to certain things, right? Attached to the results, attached to the possessions, the accumulations, the your net worth, all these things that we worry about. That really, if you think about it, complicate our lives a lot more. Hey guys, hey everyone, we are back. We're back, and as I'm here on my daily videos here on the quarantine and not being able to do much, obviously because we're trying to practice social distancing here in New York. Um, I've been coming across with a reminder for the last couple of my hair's all crazy today. For the last couple of days, and as I said in my last video, sometimes, excuse me, we tend to undervalue ourselves and forget about how much we bring to the table in a lot of parts of our lives. And so oftentimes, it might not be seen, it might not be um, even valued, uh, and that's okay. I think oftentimes, including myself, we tend to judge our value based on what others might see from us, and oftentimes the reason why they're not seeing it has nothing to do with yourself. And I think learning that about myself and learning that about most of our lives, we tie our worth to other people's opinions or jobs, promotions, uh, accumulations, or whatever it may be that we tie our self worth to. But I wanted to come to the terminology used by Wayne Dyer in this book that I've picked up a couple of months back and I've read it already, but I was just skimming through it. Talking about the term of detachment. And whether you're a creator, whether you are a parent, whether you are at the moment unemployed, whether you are striving, thriving, doesn't matter. But I've seen the most successful people and most fulfilled people live their lives with the term of detachment. Doing things you want to do, but detaching from the results. Buying things you want to buy, but detaching from the fact that you might lose them or it might just might not work anymore. Oftentimes we buy phones and they stop working and we get all upset and irritated, or we might have to replace a phone, or we might lose it. Expensive type of things. When you're detached to these possessions, it's just another day for you. Yeah, you might moan a little bit for a couple of hours here and there, but you get over it and you detach. Same thing goes with detachment to, I think, our the goals, right? We have goals, we set them. There's nothing wrong with having goals, but I feel that at the attachment to the goals itself leads us to anxiety, depression, a lack, a feel of unworthiness if we don't accomplish those goals at a certain time. And I'm all about goals. I believe goals are great, but I think when we get attached to those goals and things don't end up turning out the way we want them to turn out, oftentimes we feel that we have failed. We have not accomplished what we set out to be, and we attach that to our humanness, worthiness as an individual, and that is where it gets tricky and actually could hurt us. So his terminology here of detachment, and a lot of the books that I've read in being awareness, self-awareness, is detaching from things that we feel we most need, we most want, and doesn't mean you love it any less. Doesn't mean that you don't need for it or crave for it. You do, but and you still love it, embrace it, and sometimes you get more back of that as well. So he says the paradox is the more you detach yourself from results or these possessions, the more of the things you get back, right? So it's something that it's been not been taught for us in school, right? We had never learned about these things. I think school taught us certain things that didn't really prepare us for our everyday lives, where we're going to be dealing with relationships, especially relationships, um, financial literacy, um, what else? Getting to know your own mind, understanding how it works. So these things that we obviously lacked in school are things that we kind of need now, especially now at these times with everybody's quarantine, our anxiety is at its highest, depression is at its highest, many unemployed. So I think detaching from all these things, oh, damn, my hair is crazy today. Detaching from how my hair is coming out right now, barber needed, right? Uh, it's crucial for all of us. I might want my hair right now to be a certain way and not to look all crazy in this video, but letting that go kind of lets me just move forward and talk about what I really want to talk about, as opposed to worrying about how I'm going to look in this video. Constant need of perfection, constant need to know what's next, constant need to know to the next plan, the next step can be a form of attachment to not have things that are known. And a lot of things that we worry about is because we're attached to certain things, right? Attached to the results, attached to the possessions, the accumulations, your net worth, all these things that we worry about, that really, if you think about it, complicate our lives a lot more. And as Wayne says, it doesn't mean you don't need to educate yourself and have goals and make plans and strategize and do things like that. It just means that you do it at a level of understanding that if it doesn't turn out the way you want it to turn out, it's okay. And he said a lot of things that we do that we think matter really don't matter, right? If you want to go ahead and make it a present moment actuality example, now a lot of individuals are working from home, right? A lot of companies did not allow their employees to work from home at all. Even though they pleaded for it, if they felt that it was a better way for them to get work done, they weren't allowed. Now they're have no choice and they're working from home with no problem, right? So those things that we thought, those certain ways that we were attached to, especially employers, even us as employees, routines of having to commute every day to work, having to be a separate part of our home to work, having your kids go to school. Like these things that we were attached to have been taken away, have been changed, have been flipped upside down, as I say. So if we was to be attached to that right now, we'd be going through a tough time. We would be not able to adapt to the present moment. And as we said in the videos before, life is about adaptation. It's a constant adaptation, a constant change. Nothing stays the same. Everything's always growing. Growth is part of life. And as the sooner or later we can kind of understand that not attaching to our progress, right? Just attaching to the progress, not to the results, right? Be better even said, attach yourself to the progress and not the results, because the results so that you really can't control. No matter what you do, how you do it, sometimes you can, but the most part you really don't know how to control the results. Results come to you as they should, as they say, and obviously the more effort and work you put into it, or the more love and passion you put into it, obviously some of that has to come back to you if you believe in energy. So in these times, and the reason why I make these videos is because I think I want to make it as relevant to what's going on right now, is learning to calm our anxiety and depression by detaching from our attachment to the things that we had, to other things that we thought we didn't have attachments to, but the reason we're struggling to adapt and understand is because we were attached to these outside things. Whether it was a commute, you had to commute to your job. Whether it was to go out every Friday, Saturday night, to the bars and happy hour, whatnot. These are attachments that you had, and now they've been taken away. All these gatherings that we were planning for the summer, they most likely will be taken away. So understand we're gonna be sad and we're gonna feel kind of way, but don't get attached to that. Just understand that adapting right now is more important than anything else. And I'm practicing that every day because I have a lot of attachments to a lot of things. So the practicing of detachment might be our key to our actual true self and growth, and learning about ourselves. So If you guys are learning from this and loving it, please leave a like and comment. And thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow.